Android.
Now at 5, an effort to help sex trafficking victims in northeastern Oklahoma. Plus, we look at whether the presence of bird flu in a local poultry farm could spread to wild birds. And
new executive orders could reshape the U.S. Armed Forces. I'm Erica Brown in Washington with more on what President Trump is expected to sign and Trump claiming victory in a migration standoff with Colombia.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Miami, Oklahoma nonprofit is now certified to help adult victims of sex trafficking. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. It's a certification the Community Crisis Center sought to receive after noticing a number of the survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault they were supporting were also victims of trafficking. The victim services provider says it became clear there was a growing need in the community. The nonprofit is now one of 4 certified in Oklahoma and the only rural provider.
People that are victims of human trafficking do not have a choice, so there is that element of control. We're seeing it a lot in rural communities where individuals might have a trusted family member or friend that's taking advantage of them, and they don't have a say in the situation. They're not safe and they need assistance. January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month. While the Community Crisis Center is now certified to help sex trafficking survivors, they're increasing their training and resources to address survivors of other types of trafficking as well. While the risk of bird flu remains low for humans, it can still pose a threat to livestock. With the recent confirmation of our first case of avian flu in Newton County, we decided to stop by the Missouri Department of Conservation in Joplin to get expert advice on what you should do and how to decrease the spread if you happen to come across a dead bird.
We are looking for this disease. It really helps to have people calling for us because it gives us more eyes out in the field. However, if you find something you think may have succumbed to avian influenza, leave it alone. Just call us. We'll take it from there.
Skillicky adds you can also cover the deceased bird so other animals can't remove it. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures warmed up today. Yesterday we were in the upper 30s. Today we got to the upper 40s. Now about 44 degrees. Feels a little bit cooler because we do have a light breeze out there, but it is sunny, so overall it's been a pretty nice day. Now winds are going to continue to gust, currently 15 to 20 miles per hour, even getting as high as about 22, 23 miles per hour for Fort Scott, Iola, and Yates Center. But again, it is pretty clear out there and it's going to stay clear all night long. Now our warm-up does continue over the next couple of days. Tomorrow getting into the mid to upper 50s, and again upper 50s and even low 60s on Wednesday. Now we do have a cold front coming in later on this week that is going to bring us some rain chances starting Wednesday night, but I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
See you soon. Colombia caves to pressure from President Donald Trump. Plus, the president is expected to sign several new executive orders related to the military. Erica Brown reports from Washington, D.C.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth arrived at the Pentagon Monday for his first full day on the job and promised to move swiftly implementing President Trump's agenda.
Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable.
During his comments, Hegseth previewed some of the military-related executive orders President Trump is expected to sign. They include policies for transgender service members, a ban on several diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and reinstating service members discharged for refusing to get the COVID vaccine. The president is also expected to sign an executive order building an Iron Dome missile defense shield for the United States, similar to Israel's Iron Dome shield.
On the immigration front, President Trump is declaring victory after a weekend standoff with Colombia over return flights of undocumented migrants.
The country's president initially said he wouldn't accept the flights, saying the U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals. That prompted President Trump to threaten a travel ban on Colombian government officials and 25% tariffs on imported goods, increasing to 50% in a week. Colombia threatened tariffs of its own, but ultimately backed down.
Sends a message to other countries that the president means what he says and that he is going to deliver punishment if countries don't cooperate.
With immigration crackdown operations ramping up across the country, Immigration and Customs Enforcement reported nearly 1,000 arrests Sunday. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump is meeting with House Republicans in Florida this evening as they try to develop a legislative game plan to deliver his agenda. On this Holocaust Memorial Day, we look at a one-of-a-kind exhibit in the U.S. that showcases the life and legacy of Anne Frank, one of the most recognizable names and faces of the Holocaust. The limited exhibit at the Center for Jewish History in New York City features a replica of the secret annex from the home in the Netherlands where the teenaged Anne Frank and her family hid from the Nazis for years. Frank was just 13 years old when she started writing about her experiences and feelings in a diary. She was one of 1.5 million children murdered in the Holocaust. The halls of the exhibit are lined with artifacts and videos depicting the war and the ensuing struggle the teen and her family endured, including a desk and a replica of that diary.
The exhibition is a beacon. It's a beacon of remembrance. It's a beacon of education. It's a beacon of awareness.
The display also includes handwritten notes from Anne Frank herself, translations of her diary in dozens of languages, videos from her childhood, and a walk through the tragedy that was the rise of Hitler, leading to the murder of 6 million Jews. The exhibit runs through the end of April. The curator says it's a reminder of people's shared responsibility to carry the message forward. Doctors try new ways to treat opioid addictions. That's just ahead. Plus, a program that aims to give a fair shot to people with disabilities. Those stories next in Health Watch.
Something new sales event.
Visit gopascal.com to schedule your free estimate now.
Topping today's Health Watch, doctors are trying new ways to treat opioid addiction with mixed results. A study by UC San Francisco tried microdosing patients with buprenorphine, which is one of the most common treatments for opioid use disorder. Using higher doses of the drug could cause withdrawal, so doctors tried lower doses, but they say it wasn't as effective. Heart transplant patients on Medicaid have a lower survival rate. A study by UCLA highlighted health disparities for low-income patients, showing that Medicaid patients who received a new heart had a higher chance of developing a condition called CAV, which is the leading cause of death following a transplant. If you're having trouble keeping your New Year's resolution, well, there might be a scientific reason. A study by the University of South Australia found it takes far longer than 3 weeks to establish a new habit. In fact, habit formation usually starts within around 2 months, but it can take as long as a year. The important thing is to not give up if you slip up. When it comes to landing a job, the right opportunity can be life-changing, and this next story is proof of that. Tina Kraus takes us to a workplace overseas where young people's lives are being transformed one cup of coffee at a time.
18-year-old Alex Watling takes pride in his work at this coffee shop in London.
Learning how to make coffees, how to make food, the washing up, taking customer orders, and toasting the sandwiches too.
He's one of dozens of trainees with disabilities who are learning the ropes, hoping it will one day pay off like it did for Aya Bider.
I'm so proud that I got a paid job because in the past I've applied for employment and I've been rejected.
Fair Shot Cafe is designed to give young people just that, a chance to succeed, whether they have autism, motor skill difficulties, Down syndrome, or another condition.
We offer both a supported internship program for 15 young adults with a learning disability every year, and then we get 90% of them that are then ready for a job into employment.
CEO Bianca Tavella says her experiences with an autistic friend inspired her to create a world where those with disabilities can unlock their potential through practical training.
That gives them the opportunity and helps both the public and them interact together instead of separating it constantly.
Maybe stop.
Now halfway through the program, Alex believes he's brewing a path to success.
I'm proud that I've been doing this job so far as I can develop experience, hopefully at the end of the course to get to work towards that paid job.
Managers say an inclusion revolution is underway. Walls at the cafe are filled with photos of past trainees in a testament to transformation. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
19 other companies in the British capital have signed up to be part of the social enterprise movement by offering paid jobs to graduates of the Fair Shot training program. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, tips for getting your income tax refund as quickly as possible.
And coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the rain chances that we have later on this week.
Nominate your Ford State Hero today.
For more, dine in, carry out, or drive through. Fred and Red's, famous since 1923.
Well, today was a pretty nice day, though temperatures are still going to warm up over the next couple days. So let's go ahead and take a look outside. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, clear skies, sunny all day. And we're going to have a clear night as well with temperatures. They were a little bit colder this morning. So Saturday, we had a cold front come through that caused us to have some cooler temperatures on Sunday, high of upper 30s. Then we dropped down to the upper teens today, but we did warm up about 45, 46 degrees. Now tonight we're getting down into the lower 30s, upper 20s, just right below freezing. So it's not going to be too bad, but it is going to be a clear night and there is a chance to see 6 planets align this week. So we have perfect conditions for that, although a little bit cooler today. Now tomorrow we really do start to see that warm up. Mid 50s, sunny again, but again still a bit breezy, winds gusting 15-20 miles per hour. But all this warm up is caused by a little ridge formed in between our low pressure that's off to the east and our cutoff low that's off to the west. We've been watching this cutoff low for about a weekend and all the way through last week. That's going to start to move midweek this week, starting Tuesday night and into Wednesday. You can start to see it kind of rotating around, pushing in. Now, one model showing we could see a few rain showers as early as 9 p.m. on Wednesday, though might hold off a little bit later on Wednesday, just after midnight and into Thursday. So our chance to see some rain showers earlier, 20-30%. Now heading into Thursday, we're going to see a lot heavier of rain, though the main line of storms, that cold front, thunderstorms south of us. We're not expecting some thunderstorms or severe weather, but we are expecting some heavier rain. So it's about 11 a.m. You can see we're right in the middle of the heaviest rain. Starts to push off to the east. By 8 p.m., more seeing just some light scattered showers. Those are going to continue through the overnight hours with a bit of a lull Friday morning, just in time for people to get to work, get to school. But then the rain wrapped around the back of that low does affect us later in the day on Friday, late afternoon. We could see another round of some scattered showers. So outside of that, it is still going to be another nice weekend heading into next weekend. Rain amounts, like I said, we're seeing that main line of storms south of us, south and southern parts of Oklahoma and in Arkansas, though we could see about ½ an inch all the way up to an inch of rain in our areas. Further south we go, a little bit more than an inch of rain. Though, again, not a ton of rainfall because we're not getting those thunderstorms. But it's still going to be nice to see a little bit of rain, especially without the snow or ice chances. Now, temperatures are really only dropping down to the 40s on Friday, but we're right back up to the 50s Saturday and even 60s on Sunday. Though we've got another cold front coming in next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where we're going to see another drop in temperatures plus another round of rain chances. And with those cooler temperatures, might get a little ice or snow action then next week. But this week, going to be sunny, a little bit of rain, but sunny, warm, 50s and 60s. I'm excited.
Doesn't that sound great? 58 possibly on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's Wednesday. Other than the cloudy day, it's going to be just the best day to get outside and do any outdoor activities.
I'll be working, but I'll try to get outside. Sounds good. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, a proposed merger involving TikTok. That's just ahead in Consumer Watch.
Ashley's President's Day mattress sales are up to 50% off, starting at just $199. Plus, our price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Only at Ashley.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, TikTok's parent company has received a proposal for its U.S. operation. According to a person familiar with the deal, San Francisco-based artificial intelligence company Perplexity AI is proposing a merger that would allow the U.S. government to own up to a 50% stake in the social media's app's U.S. business. Comes after TikTok was taken down for a few hours last weekend due to a U.S. law banning the app unless it had cut ties with Chinese parent company ByteDance. The app returned before President Donald Trump signed an executive order delaying the ban for a few months. Neither ByteDance nor TikTok have responded to requests for comment on the proposal. The official start of tax season is here, which means it's time to start gathering those financial documents from 2024 ahead of the April 15th filing deadline. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the best way for filers to get their refunds within 21 days is to file electronically and use direct deposit. As for whether you need to hire a tax preparer,
it depends on the complexity of your life. Some people think it's just, oh, I have a lot of money versus not. But if you're just a wage earner, a W-2, by the way, keep your eye out for all these tax documents. They come via snail mail very often. But if you're a wage earner, you could probably do it yourself.
Schlesinger says filers with more complex returns, which could include owning a business, being self-employed, or maybe selling real estate, might want to consider hiring a professional. The solar industry has exploded over the past decade, and that includes putting panels on farmland to capture electricity. Maintaining the land underneath those panels can be a pricey proposition, but now there are workers doing it on the cheap. Jason Allen explains.
About an hour outside of Austin, Texas, in the tiny town of Buckholz, sits the 5th largest solar project in the U.S., capable of creating up to 900 million watts of power. And the panels soaking up all that sun are getting an assist from new helpers willing to work for food.
We want to be good stewards of the land. One of the challenges to that is the very difficult problem of how do we effectively control vegetation management.
SB Energy found an answer: sheep. The animals naturally graze the land, keeping vegetation from growing too high.
As this industry continues to grow, so will the demand for sheep.
Business is booming. You can find sheep on solar farms in about 27 states, from Texas to Minnesota to Massachusetts. Companies say it's more cost-effective than bringing in mowers, and it's environmentally friendly.
The sheep naturally eat the grass, so it benefits them. So instead of us just mechanically mowing it, we are lowering the carbon footprint.
Historically been a reluctance to transition from gas mowing to livestock as vegetation maintenance. We're starting to see wide-scale adoption.
The National Renewable Energy Laboratory says there are currently about 60 solar grazing projects in the U.S., and that number is expected to grow. Jason Allen, CBS News, Dallas.
The Mel Gibson-directed Flight Risk flew to the top of the box office in its debut with an estimated $12 million domestically. Mufasa: The Lion King is still roaring strong with close to $9 million for the second spot, and the female-led comedy One of Them Days rounded out the top three with around $8 million in its second weekend. A final check of the forecast coming up next.
State hero.
Up next, the CBS Evening News with a brand new look. China's intelligence agents are scouring social media to identify U.S. service members and then pay them to spill secrets. It's a spy story in the age of apps. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to take a closer look at the effort to help area victims of sex trafficking and hear from an organization trying to make a difference. Plus, whether the presence of bird flu in a local poultry farm poses a risk to wild birds in the 4 states, and 2 local high school football players commit to Missouri Southern. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News with a brand new look, and then KOAM News at 6. Now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime. It's absolutely free. The KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Workers in Webb City made some history today, or at least restored it. The last remaining slate roof in the city got a facelift. Multiple roofers in the area said that 135-year-old roof was just too old to be saved and recommended replacing it with more modern shingles. Well, upon further inspection, roofers determined the slate roof would last 50 years with proper restoration, which it has now received. A lot of beautiful buildings in Carthage, and certainly worth preserving, and in Webb City as well. The weather looking up.
Oh yeah, today, tomorrow, and even into Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be well above average for this time of year. Really warm, nice, sunny skies. Upper level clouds start to move in Tuesday, lower level clouds on Wednesday, and then we're starting to see some rain shower chances creeping in Wednesday night and continuing for the rest of the week.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next with a new look. We'll see you back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.